slow. Okay? I'm giving you fair warning.
I ain't heard.
The maid was off this week, so it's a little messy.
Nah, that's my job. Hey, we'll clean it up.
I made it. I hope you clean it up.
Hey, about to say, talking about dig. You can't get a jail because I ain't got to hear that shit like that. What you talking about? That ain't right what you just said.
I go clean up.
Yeah, let me get it. Put me on the news, I'm a suit, I ain't even.
Let's pick it up since they have it. Come on, y'all, let's clear up our house, they said. Hold it.
Now, where you gonna show that at? If I might ask. I know you do that. How come now you trying to have what TV station? I think you show how to get ran.
Yeah, we ain't gonna.
You all want to talk about it. Yeah. I don't like them because they don't like us. It's just that simple. Why we can't sit out here in a vacant lot? I mean, we ain't doing nothing. I mean, if we drinking, now they should be chasing somebody that's robbing somebody or raping somebody, but they come over here arresting somebody drinking a beer. I don't like that. That's not right. And my name is Dennis Eugene Rogers I. I ain't got no problem with letting it be known. They gonna tell us we can't sit here in our neighborhood and be comfortable. But we don't go to Bridgeport and harass them, or Northbrook, or Oak Park, or none of that. So why are we steady harassed? Where we grew up and live at. It's not right. They just taking our neighborhood. We got no say-so about it, and we gotta accept that. This ain't nothing but slavery revolution number 2. And I don't like it. Give me good full face.
I'd like to know why can
And
you,
I want to know,
sit in a vacant lot?
We used to live there till they tore our house down. Right there. Right here. I just told you I live right there. No, they ain't fighting. Yeah, the only place they try to find for me is the 18th district of the county jail. They just ask people to move. I mean, these people get off work every day. They have a cold beer before they go home. And for no reason at all, they come over here to harass them. Now, I can understand that they say clean up the litter. That's what we got a dumpster there. We clean up it once a week. No, they ain't gonna stop them. They ain't gonna stop me. They say, I don't mind. I go to jail. I do it on my head.
They don't allow us to park.
Huh?
They don't allow you just to hang out.
Like I said, they ain't gonna stop me. I'm gonna do what I want to do within the constitutional rights. If I'm not doing anything illegal, then I'm not gonna stand for it. And I'm thinking about with this class action suit coming. And I'm not illiterate. I'm very well educated, just like they are. I know the laws. We have the right to assemble, and we're not doing nothing violent. It's harassment. That's straight up, point blank and simple. Then they got 2 police forces harassing us, the regular city police and then the CHA police. What's all this pressure for? That's to squeeze us out of here so they can turn this into a rich real estate development. They're gonna squeeze me out slowly. I'm gonna be one of the last ones to leave. That's the end of my statement. nobody is? They harassing us over here. Why aren't they at the gangbangers that's shooting and killing people and robbing people and that kind of stuff? They're bothering people that's sitting up here drinking a cold beer. And who are we bothering? If we're doing any damage to anybody, it's to ourselves. We sure ain't harassing or hurting nobody else. And anytime they want to talk about it, tell them Dennis Rogers will be willing and available to sit down with anybody. I mean, they put me on.
That's it.
All over there. Two rolling with you. Right there, what?
Camera.
This is a city man that been working for the city for many years, but he was raised up in this area.
Oh yeah, born and raised.
Yeah, they doing documentary on Cabrini.
Oh, okay.
Trying to play up some of the vital parts of Cabrini and
wow.
what it's all about. It's not all bad.
Oh no.
It's not all good.
Oh no.
We're gonna tell the real thing, what the real truth is. So they might talk to you when I see something like that where get to use the cup. You're using the cup.
Yeah.
You can start telling your life history.
But well, somebody got started in on you, huh?
Yeah. Well, I was born in Oakland, Orleans, right next to the train tracks there, in 1942. In the house. I was here before Cabrini was here, not the old projects. That's Cabrini. Yeah, Cabrini-Green. Well, you know. Yeah. And grew up here. Still here.
The road houses were here when you
Yeah.
first came into this area.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they're the third. I think Ida B. Wells, Argyle Garden, and then Cabrini. I think. I'm not for sure on that. You know.
Someplace on the west side was before they started Cabrini, I think.
Huh? No, not the big ones. The little row houses. I think they were the third ones. I think second or third. I think it was Ida B. Wells, and Argyle Garden, and then Francis Cabrini, right? And it's just a good section of town. Oh yeah, access to Riverview, Lincoln Park, huh?
Where you work?
I work for the city, sewer department.
How long you been there?
Since 1966. 31, 30. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, we were living on the south side. We came back in 1950, let me get it right. In 55, wasn't there? When they started up, I think it was.
Later than that.
It was mid-50s.
Yeah.
It was later than that.
It was later than that?
Yeah, they started about 58 or 59.
59, oh yeah?
No.
No, I think it was earlier than that, because see, we moved back,
57 would be more
it was 50, yeah. I think it was 50, 56 to 57, you know.
I graduated from New Franklin in 55.
Okay.
We came
came back to live with Mom on Library Street over there, and they started going up.
Right.
When I graduated from high school, they were already up.
Now, when we graduated from grammar school, we graduated in what, 56, 57?
I came out of grammar school.
Okay.
And when I came out of Waller in '59, they were already up.
All right.
They just started, that year probably. When they started around 58 or 59 when they started building them.
No, I think it was up. I'm not for sure, but I think it was 50, 55. I think they was up.
I know they were up when I graduated in '59.
Okay.
No, because I know I came to Chicago in '53, and I know they didn't build no projects 2 years after we got here. There wasn't no Cabrini-Green, because I lived all around here. I used to live on Larrabee and Hobby.
Yeah,
I mean on a Hobby, not Hobby, Low Street. Low, come right around where Scott hooked back around to Larrabee there. I lived all around in there.
When I got there in '57, and you came from South where you were going to school, they were up.
They had to be, because when we come out of General, they was up, and we come out of General when?
You came to the hospital to see me in '57 when I had the injury playing football. I was in the coma, remember? They were up. I was going to school. I was going to school every day with kids that were living in the projects. We were walking, catching the bus going down to Waller.
So I think we probably had to look it up in the city record to see when they really.
No, I think it was mid-50s though, because I remember leaving the South Side.
All of them might not have been up, but they were up.
Not the Greens. The Greens weren't up.
It was,
the red ones were up. Yeah.
I know it was more near the latter part of the 50s, like 58 or 59, because they didn't build them not that early in the early 50s.
What's your reaction when you saw them? What was the reaction?
They were
well, we thought it was great because it was going to be like, at first it was just a lot of frame buildings with, bungalow style, mostly frame, and they were easy, fire traps, we call them. So when we saw the projects going up, brick buildings, we thought they were going to be great. We wasn't aware of the height and what the height might do in the long run. We wasn't aware of all of that. But I think the only disadvantage to the community was that they built them so high. In later years, when we started to have problems, it made it difficult for to iron out the problem because, once the gangs got infested in this area and the building was so high and it was hard for the police to get in and have assets to capture a lot of the gang because they were often attacked themselves, So that was a disadvantage of the height was a disadvantage to the community, in a sense. But other than that, they were okay.
Yeah. If they'd have stayed 7 stories.
Yeah, they were fine.
Right.
It wasn't see the gangs, the projects was here probably a good 10 years or longer before the gangs got in them, The gangs just came in the later years, in the 60s, middle 60s or late 60s, maybe even into the 70s before they got real base, And that's when we started to have a real serious problem. But all before that, the grass was green, the trees were budding. Parents, the kids then, you had not a lot of what we call single-parent homes. You had a lot of husband and wives at that time, and kids was well-disciplined, well-trained, and if you tore up the grass, your parents had to pay for it. If you broke down the trees, your parents had to pay for another tree being, planted, stuff like that, and all that made it good because everybody tried to work together at that time to keep the area nice, But then later, I think the migration of a lot of people from the South and a lot of younger people being allowed to move in, like single women who didn't have like a father in the home to help out with the kids, and then things just kind of got out of hand.
Yeah.
Really, I think the heavy migration of people from the South is probably what enhanced the mayor to build the project in the first place, because he didn't have...
they didn't know how much money projects were.
Right. There wasn't
And
enough other
after
housing.
that, they zoomed up everywhere.
Yeah, there wasn't enough housing available to cope with the overflow of people migrating from the South into metropolitan Chicago, And so things just sort of got out of hand because, the city didn't really do its part to maintain them, and they didn't police the area. When I say police, I mean like city officials. We used to have what we call for school kids. They had truant officers who
yeah.
come around and see to it that the kid was in school. The kid didn't have a lot of leisure time to loaf all day and to do nothing all day. You had to be doing something. You had curfews, you know, you had to be in at a certain time at night, and it was much better then. I don't know why did the city renege on that and decide not to keep it going. And then the housing complex wasn't managed or supervised very well, you know, because that's when they really, like I said, things really began to get out of control. And
Well,
it
they
made
stopped
it
screening. You know,
yeah,
they used to
when they
screen
stopped
the
screening,
individuals.
right. And
Yeah.
they made it easy for the gangs
Yeah, get in.
to get in because the people wasn't being screened, like we say, and the housing authorities, they just didn't maintain it and didn't try to keep it up. Or they didn't, I don't know if they wasn't aware that the gangs were coming in or what, but even when they got the first attention of the gangs being here, they could have gotten them out.
Nipped it in the bud or something.
Right. If they had worked at it, they could have gotten them out then, and they could have made some effort to prevent it from getting further out of hand, but they didn't. And so here we are. You know, later years, it's just a total disaster.
One of the things that went wrong with Cabrini and probably all the projects, they should have left the north siders on the north side. As far as the janitors, they moved the north side. They wouldn't mess up the hallways or the elevators and stuff like that because they knew this individual knew his family and stuff, you know. They did a lot to prevent projects from working because I think they could have worked.
They could have worked.
Oh, yeah.
If they had been maintained or
Yeah.
supervised. Like
Yeah.
I said earlier, they got high rises all over the lakefront over there, but they supervise well
yeah.
and they maintain well,
Oh, yeah.
you know, and they work. But they got buildings over there just as high as these over here.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but the difference is the supervision and the maintaining of the building. The building itself didn't do anything, you know, but just sit there when you think about it, you know. So why should a building sitting on the lakefront be any different from a building sitting right here in Cabrini, per se, you know? But all we are saying is the different clientele of people lived in the area, and certain class of people, if we would use that terminology, would say probably saw to it that the ones on the lakefront would maintain better than these over here. And those over there are not considered projects anyway, you know. They were considered, what we say, luxury apartments, something like that, you know.
But our heating was better.
Yeah.
They had heat, hot water. Oh.
Over in this area.
Oh, yeah.
Much better than
Oh, much better.
How long did you live over there?
From 50, I was born over on the north side, but in Cabrini I was, my mother, I think she moved in, I want to say 51. I don't know why. I don't know. You know, my sister was born in my sister was born in 51. So I think we moved over here back over here in 55. I don't know, you know, why I say that. But until I come out of the military in 64.
So how long?
66. No, I got out of the military in 66.
You grew up here.
Was born here on the north side.
So now that you're grown up and you don't live here, what would you say your relationship to the area would be?
I come back here because my friends are here. You know, I know I went to school with Mo, graduated with Mo. His brother's been doing my hair for 30-something years, you know.
Right.
My mother still lives over here. Can't get her to move off of the north side. Yeah, this is just home, that's all, you know.
What will this area be losing once they tear it down? And I mean, in addition to the buildings, what do you think that they'll be losing?
Sports, music. A lot, an awful lot, an awful lot. I mean, we've got Jerry Butler was born here. Curtis Mayfield. Yeah.
Major Lines.
Major Lands.
Johnny Hathaway
Yeah.
he was deep rooted in the north side area here.
Everybody that's ever been anywhere have come to the north side
Jerry
first.
Butler, Billy Butler, they from over
Yeah.
here. Ramsey Lewis,
Yeah.
sitting on the side of born and reared over here.
The
What's
churches.
my captain name here? Captain, what's his name here?